Most cities have a lifespan. They rise, they flourish, and then eventually they fade away. Empires turn to dust. But what if I told you there's a city that just doesn't? A place that seems to operate completely outside of time itself. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Kashi.
And that's the big question, isn't it? How does a city become eternal? What's the secret sauce? How can a place not just hang on, but actually thrive, continuously, for literally thousands of years? Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
And just to give you some perspective on this, we're talking about over 3,000 years of continuous civilization. That means Kashi, which you probably know as Varanasi, was already a vibrant hub of life and culture way before ancient Rome or Athens were even a thing. And we're not talking about some dusty ruins here. No, this is a living, breathing city with an unbroken line of people and traditions stretching all the way back.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to look at where myth and history meet, dive into why it's India's spiritual capital, see how it survived the centuries, and then, we'll get to the big one, the secret to its immortality. We'll even check out what the city's like today.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. And I mean the very beginning. We're going so far back in time that the line between myth and actual history gets, well, pretty blurry.
Now here's what's so fascinating about Kashi. Its claim to being ancient isn't just some old story. It's one of those super rare places where religion, mythology, and modern archaeology all line up perfectly. They all point to the exact same conclusion. It's pretty incredible when that happens.
So, let's look at the evidence. On the mythology side, it's said that Lord Shiva himself founded the city as the spiritual center of the universe. Then you look at the ancient scriptures, right? The Rigveda mentions Kashi way back around 1200 BCE. And then modern archaeology comes in, digs down, and what do they find? Yep, physical proof of people living there continuously for over 3,000 years. It's like faith, ancient texts, and science all came together and said, this is it. This is the place.
So with roots that deep, it's no surprise that something really powerful grew from it. Kashi didn't just become a city, it became the spiritual capital of India. And that, as we're about to see, turns out to be the real engine behind its immortality. And you really have to get this next part because it's the key. In Kashi, spirituality isn't just an activity. It's not something you do on a Sunday morning. It is the entire way of life. It's literally woven into the fabric of the city. Every single day, every street corner, every little thing people do.
So what does that way of life look like? Well, it's built on a few huge pillars. First, you've got the holy river Ganga, which is believed to wash away sins. Then there's the concept of Moksha. That's liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Of course, there's the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, one of the holiest shrines to Shiva. You've got the 88 Ghats, those sacred steps down to the river where all of life's and death's big rituals happen. And every single day, there's the Ganga Aarti, this incredible spectacle of worship. All of these things together create this powerful, unbreakable spiritual ecosystem.
Now think about this one profound belief. One who dies in Kashi attains moksha. That single idea has literally shaped the city's entire destiny. For centuries, people have made the journey here, not just to live, but specifically to spend their final days. That makes Kashi something more than just a city. It's a city of liberation, a gateway.
And when you have that kind of spiritual gravity, you're going to attract some brilliant minds. And Kashi did. I mean, we're talking a who's who of Indian history. Great saints and philosophers like Adi Shankaracharya, legendary poets like Kabir and Tulsidas, and even modern icons like the sitar maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar. They all call the city home, turning Kashi into this incredible powerhouse of wisdom and culture.
Okay, so Kashi has this amazing spiritual core. That's great. But what happens when it runs up against the real world? Invasions, empires rising and falling, just the brutal march of time. How did it actually survive all of that?
Well, this timeline tells an amazing story of resilience. Look at this. As far back as 600 BCE, it's a major kingdom. Then, around 500 BCE, the Buddha gives his first sermon right nearby. It thrives under emperors like Ashoka. It becomes a cultural heart during India's golden age. But then, check out the medieval period. It faced invasion after invasion. It was torn down. But here's the kicker. It was always rebuilt, every single time. And it kept going, right through British rule and into today, where it's arguably more vibrant than ever. It's this constant cycle of destruction and rebirth that gives it its name, Ajar Amar Kashi. It basically means the undying city, the one that doesn't age and cannot be killed. So you see, its identity isn't just about being old. It's about being spiritually unconquerable.
Which brings us right back to where we started. We've seen the myths, we've seen the history, we've felt the spiritual power. It's time to put all the pieces of the puzzle together and finally answer that big question.
So what is the secret to Kashi's survival? After everything we've looked at, what's the magic formula? Well, it really comes down to 3 key things.
Secret number 1. Its identity was always spiritual, not political. This is huge. Rulers came and went. Dynasties rose and fell. But Kashi's importance wasn't tied to any of them. Its power came from faith. And that faith, it never changed.
Okay, secret number 2, it was constantly being rebuilt. Think of it this way. The physical city was like hardware, but its spirit was the software. You could destroy the buildings, but you couldn't delete the code. The will of the people was just stronger than any army, and they would always rebuild.
And the third and final secret, it's connected to the most basic core human emotions. Kashi isn't about empires or politics. It's about birth and death and everything that happens in between. It's a place where people confront the biggest questions of life. And as long as we humans are around asking those questions, a city like Kashi will always be relevant.
So that brings us to today. What does this ancient, eternal city look like right now? Is it just some kind of historical theme park? Not a chance. It's a vibrant, living city where the past isn't just remembered, it's lived every single day.
And you can see this blend everywhere. There's the brand new Kashi Vishwanath corridor, making things easier for pilgrims. The ancient Ghats are being restored. Connectivity is better. It's a global hub for spiritual tourism now. But here's the thing. While the city is modernizing, its soul, the very reason people have been coming here for millennia, remains exactly the same.
And that's really the magic of it all. When you're in Kashi, you are literally watching history happen. The rituals you see by the river, the prayers you hear, these aren't performances for tourists. They are the exact same acts of devotion that have been taking place in that very spot for thousands of years. It's a living link to the past.